Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, young and old, yes, we are back. We are back. Oh, we already have an. Oh, Kenderja is waiting. She said here and waiting. Welcome, Kenderja. Well, welcome, welcome. Greet them a bit, man. Stephanie Epissi. Say hello.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning in.
You have to be nice.
Oh, but you already did it on behalf of us.
Asu. So today is indeed a wonderful day. Uh, Shabbat Shalom. We are live again, of restoration, or better said, restoration talk. So we will restore some broken walls through our words, through our own words of encouragement, through the teachings of last week. So there is much at stake. There's much at stake. So let's do it. And without further ado, as I mentioned, today's topic is unity, 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 unity. Because, and the reason why it's an important topic, imagine, a group of people, and they are all strangers, and they want to build a house together. There's no blueprint, no leader, just bricks and tool. What do you expect in life? Chaos or collaboration? So unity is not just an agreement, it's a purpose. And that can really cultivate the building of the kingdom of Elohim, the building of your own life, the building of your neighbors. It's so many things comes into place when we talk about unity, and that's what we have this conversation about. Last week, that was a fire blasting teaching. Listen, check it out, check it out, check it out. If you missed it, you have to check it out. It's a reflective teaching. What were your thoughts about, guys? Okay, maybe one of you can give a summary about it.
It was a good teaching. Uh, our young brother he showed us the importance of unity and what we can achieve by having the same mindset and the same goal. He referred to the Tower of Babel in Genesis that even Elohim saw when mankind have the same mind to do something, they're actually capable of doing great works. And that's
Yeah.
important for us as believers to invest in these things, to to be one with each other, so that but he also said that unity makes sure that your own identity comes out. Those
Wow.
were very powerful words that really touched me, that how much do you actually invest in yourself for another. So and the question that he asked, like, we people ask ourselves, what do we have to do, or what can we do for ourselves and to Elohim? But we actually supposed to ask, what can we do for our neighbor? And
Yeah.
that's something, to be honest, it kept me thinking a lot. Like, man,
Yeah.
I've never really asked that question sincerely. From what do I do for my neighbor? Yeah. So that unity teaching, we thank Elohim for it. It has helped us to look at unity with another glass. Yes.
Wow. Uh, Wonderful summary, because it touches so many different angles, and we will talk about it today. Because, as he mentioned, when the doctrine is established, then love will come. You would serve your neighbors yourself, as Brother APC would say. And then, even in that serving and helping your neighbor, your your fellow brother and sister, that's when you would even see the gifting of Yah or the presence of Yah unleashes on man. So you can even start small, but as you climb up the ladder, not as in it's politics or so, but as you will climb up, or you will grow in the faith. That is the biblical term. As you will grow in the faith in your doings and your works of Elohim, you would surely, surely, surely see the hand of Yah coming in your life. Kandija, did you watch last week's show? If not, we advise you. Those who didn't watch it, please check it out, check it out, check it out. But there's one question we really have to tackle today.
Okay.
Because how can a person in a group context work on the goal unity?
The goal is unity.
The goal
That is the
is
main
unity.
thing.
The goal is unity.
Um, well, there are different ways to approach this.
Give us breakdown.
Well, one of the things that people can try or a group should actually do is the goal should be clear, and it can be through the leader or the one who feels that responsibility for that group to guide and to lead. That person can or actually should make sure that it is clear what unity is all about, in which way it can be shown in actions, in speech, in serving each other. And then, yeah, if that one is not clear, then you can also have a conversation about it. I've also myself, I have been part of various group before, and one of them was singing group, and
Hey.
we all came together, and I thought we all came with the same mind and the same vision. So then we
Praise
rehearse the songs and all that, and then you feel and you also sense that some things are not all right. Then for me, what I did then is I tried to point it out that okay, I feel that we are not here on the same page. People did not rehearse the song. There are some irritations here and there. People are having a different or straight face in the presence of Yah. So then that
Rezo.
is there is like you create an atmosphere, you create room to have the dialogue together, and that is very hard but very important to do also. So that is actually my personal case study in my in the past.
It's very insightful.
Have you experienced it some similar thing before, whereby the goal, as Shalom said, was unity? It was clear maybe up front, or it was not clear up front in the context of a group.
Yeah, that's something that we've been hearing. The ministers in our group have been telling us for years that we have to invest in this unity stuff to be united as a brothers. But I always ask myself, why is it that, especially for us black people, that the topic being united seems always like a major challenge? What is it that is really holding us from being united? Because we've been hearing it from way back the 60s, 70s, Malcolm X, going back to Mr. Farrakhan, and going forward. We've been hearing it from all types of people, but sometimes I've been asking myself, what is really holding us as black people to reach out to each other? We call ourselves the children of Elohim, but when I read the Bible, I don't see really unity in Israel itself. It was always there had always some groups. I don't know if it's kind of cursed. Maybe one of you can tell me what is going on.
That's a big question.
Knockout. Body knockout.
Silence.
Come
Because we can have a
Body
goal. All
knockout.
right, this is the goal. But
Yeah.
how is it that, as for us, it seems like it is always so hard to get it? Me myself, I'm feel guilty because I'm a lone wolf for a long time,
Lone
and
wolf.
I'm working to change that mindset that you are not alone. My father always told me it is not one finger that cleans the whole face. You need all the other fingers, and it's a
The
work in
progress.
progress. But sometimes it's kind of hard, to be honest.
And how do you work on that part?
Yeah.
Because maybe that might be also for interesting for a lot of people, because nowadays everybody behind the internet, behind the computer, behind the phones, at home, they have that sense of to be a lone rover, to be alone on the top, be part of the 1%, be yourself, do you, YOLO. You have so many concepts that being projected in our faces multiple times to say that be one of the lone rover. But you're just mentioned you're working on it, so maybe that might be relatable for someone who's going through that. So how I don't I will not say that maybe you solved it or we solved it or you have the finance, but maybe you can give one or two tips so that people already have that nuggets. You know, some people they don't listen after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe you can already give us some nuggets.
Nuggets is
Before
this.
they
Before they
tune
go,
off.
YouTube, they go, they click on another thing.
participate, participate
In
with
what?
the activities, with the things that is
Mm-hmm.
going on. Try to be, let it interest you. I don't know if there's the right way to say it, but let it make sense for you also. Like, even though you don't get the whole picture what is going on, but show interest. Just add something. Make yourself seen that, hey, I am here. I'm also here. And sometimes you might get the feeling that nobody is seeing you, but believe me, you are filling these chairs. Just come and sit down. That's all. That is the biggest step. And just step by step, try to get involved with what is going on. And for all people that is used to have that lone wolf mentality, this is already a big step to
Mm-hmm.
just get out of your comfort zone and try to go to a group and be with them. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
easy, but it can help a lot. Yeah.
True.
yeah,
I also realize or even notice in collectives or communities that when people decide to be part of a group or they want to belong to a group, they not all or not everyone, it's not for everyone of course, but some people they really like rely on certain individuals. But I also see that it is important that you should shift that mindset and try to bring something to the table. If you know that you have a certain quality or talent or even a different perspective how to improve a group or to enhance work processes, then you have to try to bring it in. That is also like working on that unity or that bonding that has been lacking.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my observation so far.
I
And
understand what you said. I understand this, and it is also many times that you have some people that really want to make that step, but sometimes we have already a sort mindset that or a sort way of thinking. Like maybe when I say something, people will, they will have a judgment over it from, nah,
yeah,
this is, you are like an outsider, you are just coming to watch. These kind of things also, yeah, happens. And that's why some people are also afraid to give themselves, maybe because of the past experience, that they are like, if I give myself this time, I might experience the thing that I have experienced before. So
Yeah,
now they will
trauma.
have some
So now you're
extra,
going,
yeah, some
now you're going
extra
to
barriers,
another.
like, nah, let
from
me
your
take it.
very own, from your very own people. That is even the painful part to me.
You
Why?
get it.
Instead
Yeah.
of uplifting each other, trying to speak life into someone, they just break people down, cause people to have insecurities and trauma. And I really hope that in the smaller context of communities or group or fellowship groups or even assemblies, that little by little it can be changed by just beginning by one person, that one person will just step out and be the voice. And if you keep on doing it, because I can also realize or imagine that it is difficult because you are maybe the only one who is standing out in that situation. But step by step, if you see something that should be changed, just contribute, shine your light, shine your eye. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
How do
Because
we?
the Bible says that we have to shine our light. Our light that we shine is our behavior, our way of thinking. Everybody knows the passage where where the Messiah said, "Do unto your neighbor as you want them to do for you." But in reality, it it doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen.
In
So
this
we have to change
dimension.
our mentality to reach out toward that part also.
Yeah, true. And I think the host of today, Kanjaja, she mentioned that we as Israelites are still ununified today, as it saddens me. In line with what you all just mentioned, yeah, there's so much more potential, so much more room for improvement. And so how do we then know when unity is real and not just surface level? How do you know? Because you want to join a group, or you want to be in a group, or you want to be with people, or you want to be somewhere, and yeah. So how do you then know if unity is real and not
Look,
just surface level?
when we read Genesis, it talks about the Tower of Babel. There were people, they were unrighteous, but they managed to do a great thing that even Elohim was like, whoa, I
Whoa.
have to bring it down. When you look nowadays to the United Nations, the most wicked organization ever, but they still rule the world.
Yeah.
But we who call ourselves the sons of Elohim, the children, the descendants of Israel, we have to know that we are also capable of achieving great things. It is not like Elohim that we serve is sleeping. He is aware. But he demands from us as believers that we have to reach out to one and another to make a strong front so that we can move forward. We have to reach out to each other, cover each other's mistakes. Unity, it is something real, but it takes more than just some words. It takes an hard desire towards each other from, hey, I want to help my brother, I want to help my sister. If I see my sister, it is she is not good at this part, what can I do to cover her? When you help another, automatically you help yourself because you invest in yourself for one and another. And that's something that we as black people, we are like, yeah, I don't know, yeah, we always want to
Compare,
compete
Compete
with.
with each other.
compete,
Yeah.
Yeah,
compete. Yeah, yeah. Really nice example what you made about the Tower of Babel. It was most of the time, and this did you know it's no more needed because you people already covered the covered it. But
Oh,
what I wanted to mention is that did you know the Israelites cried out for years before Yah delivered them, because there is a part of unity, right? But they're crying for years. I'm talking about hundreds of years later, because they were crying out for, yeah, Elohim, please deliver us from the hands of Egypt, deliver us from the hands of Egypt. The Levites were crying, and they were united for years. And Elohim delivered them years after that. What are your thoughts on that? Regards the angle unity, because
was
sometimes
it
people
real
think it can
unity,
be done,
or
can
was
be
it
done
pain?
immediately. Sorry,
Was it unity that made them cry, or was it just pain?
pain.
uh-huh. I think the last one rather.
Hey, hey,
Not really
In my
unity.
country, they've been
there is
crying for a
when you
long
have
time.
one common enemy. What the people of Babylon, they were also afraid for death. Fear was also one thing that united them, right?
But I
Shalom.
don't.
Action by suffering. I don't believe that. So yeah, Stephanie, you can say.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't really see the point of unity in this verse or in this passage, because as you both like agree, there was fear or anxiety was part of this whole thing, and that is why the Israelites cried out for help, and they knew that if they will keep on crying out, Elohim will eventually just reply and cover them and deliver them out of whatsoever problem they were dealing with. So I'm really like in I'm really curious why you took unity out of this story. How did you see that perspective or yeah concept? I don't see it really.
uniting means one agreement, means one goal. Like in the days we used Babylon as an example, they agreed, even when you read the book of Genesis, Jubilees, the Lord's books and so, they
Yeah.
agreed because they were afraid that they will no more be alive. They feared for their life, and that's why they built together one tower to reach up onto the heavens. So fear united them. And of course, in our context, we want fear of we unite for the deliverance of Yah. Let me put it that way,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
for Yah to deliver us from this strange world, from this strange thing. And the reason why this passage was just to understand that, or just to let know that, hey, it's not only rooskleurig, it's not always shiny, right? You can unite for years, but it takes also the hands of Yah for it to listen and to hearken unto your cry, like, because
yeah.
people might think, oh yeah, I will unite today, I will unite tomorrow, and by next week, everything will be solved. There is an even you have to unite through your suffering. That's why scriptures mostly say that those who will those who suffer and keep and walk with the cross even until the end, they will be delivered. So that might be an angle to take in account, and I think our
Yeah.
sis. Let's also say, I feel Yahuwah was waiting for them to get on one accord.
Yeah, okay.
They all were suffering.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I'm not saying that fear, anger, issues, those negative emotions should be the reason why we should unite. But that's an angle that you people pointed out. So shout out. That's why I have those critical thinkers. That's one of the things that we truly encourage doing this show. Be critical. Don't take our words face value. No, do your research. Ask questions during our shows. But another angle is surely also of what we have to realize is that time is also a factor, right? That people might go through things. Unity is not easy. To unite is not easy. To unite is not, yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's ups and downs, but you still have one common goal.
But it is possible. The Messiah say, when two or three come together in my name, I am among them. It's just if you have the mindset, we have to remove our thoughts from you being united. It is something you have to be like with 100 people. You can be also a small group that is united with the same mind and very effective in their works. And slowly but surely, it will draw other people's attention to join.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah, with what you got, you have to deal with it. And not everybody is on the same level. Life has been like that for since the beginning. Everybody got their plus and their min, but it is just, yeah, maybe where you are not strong, someone else is not strong. So if you bring it together, you will be both more effective. So yeah, it is just invest in yourself for another. That's how I always see it. Like we go to school to do something for somebody else. And if we bring that mindset also, like I am doing this for someone else, it can help a lot. And patient, of course, patient. We need patience when we deal, especially with this color. You need some patience. Yeah.
Wow. This brings me even to a dilemma. We like to cover some dilemmas during the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have covered a lot of things. Let it sink. Realize, as he just mentioned, in order for growth to come, or to see your position in your journey, look how you can help one another, but also be patient, but also have patience. That is really one of the key things that is important during your journey. And imagine, and I would just want to point out an dilemma. Follow me. You are on your way to the gathering, to the church. You have been faithfully serving there. You did your usher. You did praying. You did your leading. You have done your work. You always wear your tie and yellow tie because that is the color of the church. That's one big yellow. You wear your yellow tie. You wear the uniform. And you have been faithfully serving and ushering. You clean the tables. You wear the Bible of the minister. You pray. You do all night. You are part of prayer tower, and you are leading. but you feel like there is still more. How do you discern Elohim's next step? Okay, in this journey of group where you can contribute or unity, how do you discern the next step? Is it, can you say if it is okay, or yeah, how would you go about it? Because some people might be like, okay, but I do everything already, so what else can I do concerning unity?
Yeah.
Yes,
I will go back to what the Messiah. This is a dilemma that also happens to the Messiah with the rich guy. He said, like, I have done everything. The Messiah said to him, all right, go sell what you got and give it to the poor. And he was like, And the same thing you can ask him from, brother, do you know the guy that you just mentioned? Does he knows about the Rasta guy that comes always too late? He sit always in a corner. He never talks. Do you know about him? There are some people that are in the gathering. Nobody even cares about them. But people invest in doing all these labors, giving tithes, carrying the Bible, prayer. But do you invest also in the lowest among you?
the good Samaritan. Are you a good Samaritan?
Yeah. Do you invest in the sister that is sitting there, heartbroken, being through hell, got so many issues she don't even know how to tell you? Because of that pain, she just smiles and goes home every Sunday. Do you invest in to really get to know her or other brothers? You see, that is how we that was the thing I was saying. We are always trying to reach the on the top, but we have to look on the low.
Yeah.
Those that are broken, those that really needed help. That is where you start the unity. Look at those that are broken. Yeah.
I find it a hard one because you specifically mentioned how do you discern whether you can do something or can take a step. This part maybe also it touched me personally because this is also something that I have been dealing with here and there. But I will make it more simple for maybe other people who are also in a similar situation that they can observe the group and they see that it is going a certain way, or they can even identify certain individuals who have weaknesses or they need assistance in a certain area. When you know from yourself that you are able or you have the time or
The
even the
resources.
desire, because sometimes you don't even need that expertise or knowledge, even the time and the willingness that you see that you can be of help to other one, because you see the potential in the person, that is only actually enough to make the first step. Why? Is because it comes from a good place, the desire, the motivation to at least be of help. Even myself, it happened to me some time also that I see a sister who is dealing with certain insecurities or they need help, but I take a step to assist, and not because I believe that I have all answers or that I know it all or I have even reached that high level. No, because I truly desire for my sisters also to make step forward. And if it means that I have to avail my time, if it means that I have to share my resources, or even do it together and we will trust the process and figure things out, that can also be a very like meaningful contribution to empower someone. So that is why I said that it's not always being about discerning times or seeking for approval, but just take the bold step out of faith, and also be open about the whole process and tell the person honestly upfront that, hey, I don't know it all, but we are going to figure things out.
You
We will
figure
see
it.
how no, not fake it, we'll make it
You will
real.
figure out. I say you
Yeah.
will figure it
Oh,
out.
okay, I understood fake. We will
No,
just
no, you will not
figure
figure.
things out along the way, be transparent about it. If you have to ask for another guidance from a teacher or somebody who is really there on that level, then you should do it. But that desire that comes from a person is so genuine, and it can even be more powerful than that contribution for the qualified or skillful person.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Well
both of,
spoken.
yeah,
Amen.
man.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
of your angles, it blew me away. I had a whole different
Yeah.
angle. I had a whole different. But you are right, because mainly what people are searching for is going further to the top, to the top, to the top. But I think you people are rather turning it around. Fine, hey,
Yeah,
look first. Or don't focus even more to go more. Be the literally be the good Samaritan, because there's always work, labor to help one another. In if Because if you want to do more, means you have more time, you have more resources available, you can
yeah,
do things. And as the both of you wonderfully mentioned, that you might not have the skill set, but you have the desire to do things. Even in that, Elohim will surely bless you. I think the minister last week also mentioned that Stephen was also, he was just available, right? And because he was helping always people, or Nehemiah was always, well, also had a desire. He did not knew how to go about it, but he just had a desire to rebuild Jerusalem again, and Elohim saw him in that manner. And Chinchin also mentioned that true, if there is no unity, there is no room to find out what people are dealing with. If you are so busy with your own journey, with your own work, you want to grow that career ladder, and you're not looking behind. How can I be the first on top? True, man.
yeah,
True. Kennedy also mentioned that continue what you do, but
yeah,
ask Yah will be done in your situation. Tell him you need unity among the people, and hopefully the person has patience and waits for Yah to respond. Patience. Yeah, yeah. Do you have anything to add to angles? Do you want to
yeah. I
discuss?
have a different one.
Oh my goodness.
It's not really like a nice one, but it
Okay.
happens also in a collective group, or however you want to call it, as in a context of a group.
Okay. So
I'm wondering and even curious about your solutions when it comes to bullying. Bullying, because there are people who tackle the weaker people in the group, or even they make them so insecure that those who have experienced these type of bullies or negative talks about them, they cannot really properly do their work, and they want to be part of the collective. Maybe I can even make it more personal. It's also happened to me years ago in the assembly where I used to go. I was part of a finance department with, I think, two or three adults. I was the youngest. And every time when I showed up and I tried to avail myself to work together with them, they can really like make me so insecure, and they bullied me. Plainly, they really bullied me. They were always complaining about, yeah, why can't you not speak the dialect? Because the majority spoke their dialect, and I was not able to speak and understand. So they excluded me in a whole lot of things while I was appointed to assist them in their work. So, in the context of bullying, how should a group work on that goal, unity? Like, how can you tackle this issue in a collective?
You have you, this thing. It has been. We must talk about it as a group. We must bring it on the table and to tackle it. How can we make sure that it won't happen again? Because it is not nice. It is not good. It helps no one, especially when you look at in the context of our belief. Why should somebody do it? I know it still happens, but it helps no one. So the solution that I think is just to talk about it. Like, hey, if this keeps going on, then there have to be some consequences. Hey, because it is something I myself have not really experienced it, but I've been around people that have experienced such things, and it is not nice. Me myself, I have already sort of mindset like I don't care,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my friend, you
I
have a thick
switch my mind from.
you have a
yeah.
thick
I
skin.
know,
Yeah, man. You
but
can.
certain things can also hurt you, but
Yeah.
because we are just a flesh and blood, and I really hate bullies. It ain't nice. Bring it on the table. Don't hide it. If you experience it, make it bespreekbaar. I don't know how to
Yeah.
say it in English.
And even that bringing on the table, it might be difficult for most of them to do it. So I will continue where APC left off for bringing it on the table. Just discuss it casually with someone with whom you can. There's always one person that can talk, and maybe that person can even talk on your behalf. Like, hey, I have noticed this, or will do that conversation for you in the group setting or towards that person. Because if there is unity, it should not be like yeah. Then you should be able to discuss with at least one person, right? At least one person, because I don't think the one who is being bullied or so would confront that. Respect to you that you were able to do that. Not everybody can do that stuff, or know how to articulate it perfectly fine. But yeah, discuss it with as APC mentioned, discuss it with someone, even your closest one. You think for I can just share it and just say, hey, I have noticed this and that, and I don't know how to go about it. At least you have shared your feelings with
Yeah.
somebody. Maybe you can do it with one or two, and then eventually you will set up an closed get meeting with the three of you, right? And you can always go to your leaders to discuss it. Maybe that for some might also be a huge step. You always ask a friend along. Also, yeah, that's where unity comes in. That can help, or as in that can help to really solve this
Yeah.
approach. And in line with what you mentioned, it's too perfect because
Yeah.
I have to align this dilemma also. Is that someone is also struggling with someone in the assembly. So let's say I am struggling with someone in my assembly, and we
Okay.
clash often. How do you pursue unity without compromising the truth or boundaries? So now you're thinking from bullying. I'm talking also from clashing. So you
Yeah.
clash often with somebody, but you know there's one common goal. How do you pursue, or how? What would you advise me to do to pursue unity without compromising the true and boundary, right? Because like boundaries is also really important.
Sit
I
down
will
with that first.
simply. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sisters first, sisters first.
We wanted to speak at the same time. I will simply advise you just to avoid this person for a while. Just
Okay,
for a while.
okay, for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah. Because maybe you need to get used to how things work there. Maybe you have to get to know the person better. So avoid the person and focus on the main reason why you are there. If it is to help to clean the room or the space, then you do so. If it is just to be there and get some soul food for yourself, just focus there and get your soul food. And then later on, if you find that the issue is still there and it is still pending, then you can, if you are mature enough, you approach the person and talk about it. If you can already perceive that it's not going to work out, you just ask for help. Maybe somebody can coach you, the two of you, so that you can come on common grounds. That is how I would tackle it personally, and that is maybe how you can go about it.
Okay, okay, okay.
APC,
Gracias.
another one.
Oh, more.
I
You
will
don't have to
buy
be
food.
food.
Let's sit down and eat and drink something. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Because I cannot hide or run away because every time I see your face, something is triggering. Let's talk about. And if you see the person is too much fire, bring someone with you for the sake of peace.
Peace.
For the sake of that somebody's witness, maybe it will go to the judge. You have some witness from, hey,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
started the fight. But to a
Okay.
brother from one to another, or sister or to sister, I would say let's
Mhm.
sit down
Okay.
and
Okay.
don't go walk with that person in the woods where nobody is.
Go fight each other.
Just sit with him in the middle of the McDonald's where everybody sees you. I just give an example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just sit
Yeah.
down and talk and put it on the table, because we as a believer, our first goal is to get close to Elohim. That is number
Mm.
one. And the process to reaching out to each other, it is a thing that what the scriptures say, confessing one to another. That we
Mm.
have to learn to be transparent, that you can see what is going on. Hey, this is what I've been experiencing. How can we deal with it? How can we make sure that you and I are going good? We don't have to be best friends, but let's
Yeah.
just, yeah, put the fire off.
Yeah.
You don't have to call me every day, but
But
I don't want to be like going in a room with you and feel uncomfortable. I
yeah.
Yeah.
will be honest. And if that person will not like, hey, then I will walk away and bring it higher up. Like,
Yeah. True.
I did my part,
Yeah.
and I see it doesn't work. I really need some help.
Yeah.
And then yes.
Okay. Okay. People in the comment section, I'm also really curious about your thoughts, approaches for someone who is having some struggles with someone in their own assemblies. And if I might summarize, APC said go to the place, a meram, and buy some kip kebab and eat. So that means don't react on the in the moment, like what Steph also mentioned. Let it cool down first.
Yes.
Cool, make it cool.
Water should be cooled
Drink some
off.
water, count to 10, do some breathing exercise, do some do some walkings, read some scriptures, put some worship music, and then you will contact the person to have a conversation out of love. Love is the most important thing. That's what scripture says. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much. There's so much more to cover. I didn't cover everything, but because the fire was too hot, but I hope it has been fruitful for y'all. For me, it has been really fruitful. Some things to ponder upon. I think the most important takeaway is turn the. Oh, Kendeja has a question.
Flip
Should
the
we answer
script.
or should we skip it?
No, we can mention it.
Okay, okay, okay. Kendeja, we will read it. What would you say if the. Hey!
Whoa.
Hey, wow. Hey, APC, this one there is your field. This one is your field, as in your profession. Because what would you do if the person is a narcissist? Narcissist.
Talk.
Seriously.
Seriously, how to navigate that? That's a and these are real life dilemmas. People
Yeah.
are going through this day and night. The person is might be prideful, may have a lot of pride, maybe self-centered, focused on his own. Having their own, making. It has to benefit them always. Like, how would you go about a person
Yeah.
like that? How would you
First of
navigate?
all, First of all, if you really want to settle with this person, you have to approach him.
Settle as
It,
in
it,
to
it
my. Oh, okay.
yeah, it
To have
doesn't
a
matter
conversation.
how his personality is, even if he's a narcissist or a pride person, it doesn't matter. Everything got some background story. It doesn't matter who you are, but everything got some background story. Just sit with the person, talk with that person. Like I said before, you don't have to be best friend,
And how would you
but
talk? How would you start the
Yeah.
conversation? Let's make
it
it
depends.
practical. How would you start with? No, just give some tools to.
Yeah,
How would you start this
tools
conversation?
like this. It depends on the situation. What is going on? Like
Okay.
if you had like it was a beef where you were shouting to each other or something,
Yeah,
then
yes.
it's a
Let's
different
let's
approach.
let's use that as an example. Home, that person didn't came or didn't was not on time, and it was really nalatig, or did all kinds of things, and one day you snap, and that person snapped.
Abusive spouse. That's what
My
Kendra said. Well,
I was even talking in the church context. No, this one is abusive spouse. This one this one is run. And
man, now it's getting worse because now we are talking about abuse.
yeah, true. Okay, there's one thing, yeah. It's not that I have all the answers. Neither do I have experienced everything in life. But one thing, because spouse, then it's in the context of
Marriage.
marriage. Then it's in the context of marriage, so that is way different than in the context of assemblies, church, or gathering. But when we talk even about abusive spouse, I think everybody would agree that bring yourself in safety, and don't even try to, or do not start with breaking the marriage, as in divorce. But sometimes it's also good to have that separation, just to have a period of separation, because as APC mentioned, there is something that happened in the past, or a pile up of so many issues that was too much for that person or you to come to that point. And time can heal. Sometimes it might take some weeks, can make months, can take years, but time can truly heal, but only if you are in a safe space to heal. And even for that person. So to even approach out of love, fun, hey, wait a second. Don't you didn't you notice that this. And when the person says, "Yeah, I notice it," that means there is one agreement. There's already one thing to agree on. Okay, then how can we then navigate this? Because you cannot come in the conversation and say, "Fine, I think we should have some. I think we should have a period of separation," and then the way the tone, it will everything will collapse. It is more that there should be one thing you and your spouse should be agree on. And that is the best way to do that is start with a summary. You will summarize the situation, and did you notice that this? When you have your first yes, okay, how can we then approach this? And if you know it might be a heated discussion, try not to do it alone. You might have a spiritual leader. You might have a friend, an unbiased friend, so not someone from your own family members, because maybe the spouse might also feel like you are on
But
the
some
spectrum.
people don't like it if you bring a third person in between the relation. So then that makes it more complex.
Okay, yeah, okay, then since it's your
Because
spouse, you can
because
have
this
that person.
person who is abusive already is dealing with anger issues, cannot control his whatever, and then bringing a third person can even escalate the whole thing. Yeah, what then? The
By the
person, at
way,
least, well, I agree with you then that first of all, always like put yourself in safety. There are maybe other ways to communicate, maybe through the phone, maybe through text. I don't know. It's not something that I promote, but at least bring that signal clear that okay, it's not safe anymore, or there is a period of separation needed so that we can tackle this issue. Maybe, and then you can bring your suggestions to bring a third person instead of being in that space and suggest or even bring the third person physically in the same room. I mean, I hope you guys can follow me what I said.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and these things, it's always it depends on uh, on the situation. And oh, whoa, now we are getting personal. It says 11 years of it. Now this is trust me. So basically, I thought it was just a general conversation, but this is now she's making it personal. So people, ladies and gentlemen, we might extend this show a bit longer. You can always watch it back, take your time, or we'll just sit and have this conversation going on. But she said, 11 years of it. Trust me, I have been patient. He's an Israelite by blood, but it's not Israel, if you understand. So, you know, yeah, basically you have some Hebrew Israelites, they're doing their thing, but you could see on their works, that's more how I understand it, that maybe not having that common goal of Israel, that part of unity. But yeah, what?
Ja,
Oh my God.
ik vind van, oh sorry,
No, no,
I'm
no,
speaking
continue,
in the
continue.
Dutch. Let me say in the in English, whether you are an Israelite or not, safety goes first. Eh? You have to save yourself because if you end up with one leg, one eye, one arm, it will not benefit you in serving Elohim. Save yourself. And life, it is what it is. We Israelites, we live under a curse for many years. So save yourself. Look for organizations that can help you with your safety. That is the most important. When the scriptures say that when a man and a woman come together, they are one till death does us apart. It is true. But if things don't work, it don't work. Then you have to look for yourself, for your safety, for your future, for your relationship with Elohim. It will benefit no one to put yourself in a situation where you are being down pressed, beaten, abused. It will not benefit. So yeah, safety first. That's the thing I would advise you. Save yourself, and yeah, the rest Elohim sees it.
Yeah, and one thing we also have to realize is that, as what he mentioned, save yourself, but also realize that it's okay to have that period. No, I will not say, I'm not saying divorce, but that to have that period of separation so that you can heal. Because 11 years ago, you were totally different person than and he also, and you people grew maybe separated. You people find your own ways. You people have developed being different persons along the way. Issues happen. Maybe you also had your own struggles, your pain, and everything piles up. So when you separate for a period of time and also let other people know, I'm also curious, does other people know it? Because it cannot be so that you are the only one knowing and you keep it for yourself because of fear, not telling anybody. Maybe you can tell it at least your parents, or at least your sister, at least your spiritual leader, and then with the approach to ask one, hey, how can we go about this issue? Because it is really specific, so I might not know, and I don't know the person, the character, so I might not know how we will react, as Steph mentioned, right? Some people, when you come with the proposal or any other proposal, it is immediately fire. So you might also know someone who might know that person and I'd also have that conversation with that person. But true. The bottom line is, find a place where you can heal. And he also, you don't only do it for yourself, you also do it for him. Because maybe he's so much caught up in his own world. If he has his own place and he can then he has time to reflect, there are no trigger anymore, because maybe there are so many triggers that has to be tackled.
And also with guidance, because certain things you cannot deal alone.
Yeah.
It's difficult if you are in this situation for already 11 years, maybe even longer, but the things have been, coming to the surface gradually, step by step by step by step. So if you decide to separate, the both of them should indeed work on their healing, but in their healing or in their separation period, it should be clear what are you going to work at, who is going to assist you with, who can coach you in that process, so that at least when you separate, you do it with the goal for healing, maybe to come back again or to try something from certain stage. But it should be clear before you decide to, go apart for a fixed or a certain period of time, like on agreement, I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So in summary, have this conversation. You should have this conversation. Write on paper every reason that might come up, what happened in those 11 years that might be contributing to, or sorry, in these 11 years, write every reason, not only for yourself, make it a contextual note for him and for me and for yourself. Write down everything and make it a nice summary. When you have that summary ready, of course, let another person also have a look at it. Might be someone close, someone unbiased, not someone who would judge that person immediately and it will not help. But hopefully your spiritual leader can be unbiased and be say, okay, let's tackle this. When you have written that everything down, let somebody read. Okay, you can decide, will it be a good thing to involve that person? Yes or no. But let's assume you will not involve a third person. You will go to your spouse. The only thing what you have to do is summarize the situation. When that person says, I agree, right? Then you can say, okay, how can we work on it? Because it then you give that, I won't say then you give the person also the idea that you are both working on something instead of I want this. And man and ego, and I know myself, if I hear it, no, it doesn't work. If we can have that conversation, so okay, now we have that summary, now we have that talk, and then we can come to a point, okay, how can we work on this? Then you would see the conversation will be smooth. My suggestion is don't do it at home. As I'm combining all the all the things we
Yeah.
just spoke today. Don't do it at home. Just
In
maybe you
public.
might not have it abroad, but just go to a McDonald's, go somewhere. I don't know how the US is, but I give me some the Wendy's, the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, and because I know whatever place, just go there and have this open conversation and really be watchful of your posture, your tone of voice. Yeah, be watchful because as I use the scripture always that was it Proverbs 7 or so that the tone of a woman. I'll take it. I'll come back later. And if I found it, I will share it. But really be mindful of how you. So so yeah, be mindful of how you would approach this conversation and realize make this mental note. The person or your spouse is not attacking you; he's attacking the situation. When you realize that you can back off from all his words, because then emotionally you can detach yourself from the words, yeah, but you and this and that. No, he's attacking the situation. So he doesn't attack you, he attacks the situation. So when you have that constantly in your mind, you'll be like, okay, this is not personal, it's not personal, because then it's easier for you to, because some triggers, you will go through it. And one trigger comes, another trigger comes, and then, because I don't know what you did. I don't know your stance. Maybe you are do that, do that.
Yeah. 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 Two
Yeah,
sides of the
man's
story.
face.
Yeah.
Don't do that also. Right? Do that. So that's why I do it outside. No, we're laughing, but just to be mindful of how to tackle it. So when you have that summary ready, have that conversation, and cook some meals. Before you go, give him your shoes. Be extra nice. You'll be like, people feel it when you love someone. People feel when the person get attention, and I'm making jokes, but in all seriousness, because 11 years. distrust can happen, brokenness can happen. So when all of a sudden something good happens, and it's elevated, it will be noticeable. So yeah, maybe someone else has something to add. But thank you very much for being that open. Wow, I am. We are speechless. We are really really speechless.
Thank you
I
for opening up. Yeah.
uh, yeah. Please put it into prayer. We didn't even mention these things because we know you will do that. But maybe it's good to make it explicit. Put it into prayer, and not to pray for Elohim change his heart. No, also prayer forgiveness, because yeah, just pray that prayer forgiveness, praying that the transforming of the mind, to able to detach yourself from, yeah, that you will not be triggered. You will not be, it just keep that prayer and unleash all your emotions. That's something I've seen. Rather, unleash all your emotions in the hands of Elohim. So when you have that conversation with him, you are in the state of mind, in the perfect state of mind. You pray, you put your worship music, and so. So I think you've said a lot. Any last words, even in the because this is also unity, right? There's unity in marriage. We didn't even cover that.
Yeah. So
Right,
it's a
this is
topic on
unity
its
in
own.
marriage. The topic on its own.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, any last words on the topic unity in zijn breedste zin, so in het broader, so unity in our life and everything. So any takeaways, and then we'll round it up.
Invest in your neighbor as
Invest
you are investing in yourself.
as you invest in yourself.
And I will say, even add to that, be your brothers, sisters, neighbors covering. That's very
Be
key. Have
your
that in mind.
neighbor's covering.
Yeah.
Nothing more to add. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. All praise to Yah, and may his name be glorified. Tomorrow, another show. Please check it out. Check it out. Check it out. We are continuing on the same theme, and enjoy your Sabbath. Enjoy your Sabbath. For some of us, some are already in the Sabbath, but enjoy it. Yeah, play some worship music, play some word prayers, some songs, and work on your spirit. See ya.
Bye.